Hello, everybody, and welcome to the live stream. I hope you all had an awesome Turkey Day, and and for those who do not celebrate Thanksgiving, I just hope you had an awesome regular Thursday. Yeah, just an awesome day all around to all the peeps out there. Jeez, looks like, oh my gosh, almost looks like my encoder's it's like Streamlabs is crashing or something. Oh no, yeah, that never seems like a good thing that's happening. Oh, let's hope it works. Alright. Alright. Yeah, oh my gosh, it looks like this whole section's. Oh man. Am I up yet? Am I up? Am I going? Yeah, I think so. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, so I'm not just screaming into the void. I mean, I do that on a daily basis, but yeah, it's better to have people join in on the madness, am I right? Or am I right? Let's see. It should have worked. It should have definitely worked. Alright, let me know if it worked. Is anyone even here? Nope. Nope, still yelling into the void. The void, yes, the void is doing wonderful these days. And yes, okay, so it is working. I just can't see anything because I don't know. My encoder just keeps breaking for some reason.
Let me know if it works.
Ah!
Is anyone even
No,
here?
no. I don't want to hear myself. I do that. No, I don't want to hear it myself. That's insanity right there. Alright. Alright. So it's working. It's working. Let's hope it keeps on working. I really wish I could change this. Come on. Let me see the entire chat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know if this is a Streamlabs thing or if it's just a YouTube thing. It is just not. It's just not going well, is it? And I hope people show up soon. Alright. Alright. Sweet. Sweet. Alright, so it looks like everything is going good. Yeah. Everything's almost going according to plan. Exactly how I planned it. I don't even know if this chat thing's working over here. Looks like it's just breaking. I know I'm just telling you about stuff that you probably don't even care about. Oh, jeez. Yep, so it's working. It's definitely working. Where is everyone? Is everyone asleep? Everyone better not be asleep. Come on. Beeps. Where is you? Where's all the people? Where are all the people at, huh? Oh well. Well, I'll start recording and see if people show up eventually, hopefully. Alright, here we go. Chapter 26. Hot Damn. Chapter 26. Hot Damn. Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my reluctant relief. Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my Oh gosh, it's already starting. Our escort Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my reluctant relief. Princess Cadence admitted that she was not quite feeling up to trotting around Canterlot and would prefer a day in instead. Is that words? That's words, right? I'm hoping that's words. Okay. Porque? Alright. Should be words. Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my reluctant relief. Princess Cadence admitted to us that she was not quite feeling up to trotting around Canterlot and would prefer a day in instead. I cautiously disagreed with the initial idea that one guard would suffice in that regard, but Shining was able to convince me with an odd amount of exasperation that staying within the castle would mean Princess Cadence would have dozens of guards at her side in a moment's notice. I admitted that Shining was probably the best protector she could probably have, regardless, and took my leave. Alright, people are chatting. You're probably going to have to do it so in the Discord, because I don't know if you can do it in the... I don't know if my on-stream chat is working or not. The one day I decide to start late, and everything is breaking around here. The one day I decided not to set up early. Oh, man. This is what I get. Also, welcome to whoever is here. I wish I could see you. Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my reluctant relief. Princess Cadence Our escort mission ended up being postponed to my reluctant relief. Princess Cadence admitted that she was not quite feeling up to trotting around Canterlot and would prefer a day in instead. I cautiously disagreed with the initial idea that one guard would suffice in that regard, but Shining was able to convince me with an odd amount of... But Shining was able to... Make it not broken. I think the only way to make it not broken is to stop the stream, but I've already started this crazy train, and there are no brakes on the crazy train, at least for another 2 hours. So we're all going to have to bear with it. Am I right? Or am I right? Also, welcome, Desk. But Shining was able to convince me with an odd amount of exasperation that staying within the castle would mean Princess Cadence would have dozens of guards at her side in a moment's notice. I admitted that Shining was probably the best protector she could have regardless, and took my leave. Why that pleased him so much, I cannot begin to guess. He was performing a duty that he had been trained for and would do it well. Otherwise was unthinkable. Besides, I had been the beneficiary of... Why that pleased him so much, I cannot begin to guess. He was performing a duty he had been trained for and would do it well. Otherwise was unthinkable. Besides, I had been the beneficiary of his shields and found them to be more than satisfactory. There are no getting off the crazy train, Desk. You will just have to bear with it. Like everyone else is bearing with how nothing works anymore. And there's no way to me to fix it. I wish there was a way that I could. Like, seriously. Why? Why is nothing working? and I cannot fix it. Ah. I cannot fix it, at least while I am still alive. Okay, so now I can actually do stuff. Maybe. It still won't show up on stream. Why? But I don't have any idea. But I can do stuff, hopefully. Yeah, it's just not working on here. There's 4 people here, so be that what it may. Okay. I'm watching my own stream on my monitor just so I can see this chat. And that's the way my life works. And there we go. No, there is no brakes on the... I don't know how many times I have to tell you, Desk. No brakes on the crazy train. You have boarded, and the next stop is when I'm done. Welcome, Ace of Chains. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't seen you on stream before, so either you've changed your username, or I have not seen you before. Either way, welcome. Do not mind Desk, because he is, like we us all, completely insane. There is no help for him in that regard, or us. We just have to learn to accept it. He tries so hard, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. The rest of my training unit had already been dismissed by this time. Apparently our parade formation had been used for the week's final one. What? Apparently our parade formation had been used for the week's final one. I feel like that's a better way to... I feel like there's a better way to word that. I feel like there's a much better way to word that. Am I crazy? I'm not crazy. I'm sane in a crazy world. No, I just think we're just crazy in a sane world. Although sane in a crazy world, either way, you're still crazy. I should know. You and V have introduced me to the apple, which I don't know if I could ever forgive you for that. Just because. Well, I'm glad you showed. I'm glad I could entertain you. I'm glad I can entertain you and for you to enjoy in the shenanigans that occur from time to time when people are actually doing their jobs. People are actually doing their jobs, Desk. You know what your job is: to make me not finish a chapter in a stream. And people have been failing in this regard. I haven't seen the full thing, but I do know how to be a master. I cannot get that song out of my head. I cannot get that song in my head, Desk. I hope you and V are happy that I cannot stop listening to that one sentence over and over again. The rest of my training unit had already been dismissed by this time. Apparently our parade formation had been used for the week's final one. Unfortunately for myself, the armorer was no longer on duty either. I would have to return my gear in the morning to finish the repairs, or likely deal with an ill-fitting suit of armor for the next week, which is absolutely unacceptable. In the meantime, I would simply make minor adjustments to my shell so it fit more appropriately. You can only find so many distractions. It shouldn't be too hard to distract me. It's just keep talking, mostly. Getting me on tangents. I can get on tangents easily enough. You just have to find the right one to start on. I am very easy to distract. I'm like a dog. I need to... Where's the next squirrel? You just gotta find the next squirrel desk. It should be easy. I don't make it that hard for a reason. I suppose I could have simply waited for his replacement to arrive in the next hour or so, or for him to return from his dinner, but that would be horribly impolite to Topaz. Nope. I'm 3 out of 8? Oh, is this Masta? Oh my gosh, no. Okay. I'll try and watch it after stream. I cannot watch any videos during stream. That's my one rule, Desk. I cannot break the one and only rule that I have on the stream. Okay, Ace. You think that wouldn't distract me so much, but it has. You think that a ball wouldn't distract me as much as you think it was, but I was literally sitting here in silence trying to come up with how to either respond to that or how to turn that into another tangent. Or just to make a dirty joke out of it. I don't know. You need my live reactions. Then V. I'll get in a call with you after stream then. But I cannot do videos during the live stream. What am I, a react channel? But back to the ball in question. You take that however you want. But Ace. See, this is all you need to... He said one word. Ace said one word and managed to distract me for at least a few more minutes. But, I'm still getting distracted. Yes, Ace, you've got me. Because I don't know how to either react to that or how I should take it in certain ways, just because it would either be funny or make you people regret your life decisions. Because that's all I'm good for, is making you regret your life decisions. Yes, I will watch that one clip after the stream. No more, no less. I will watch it after the stream in a video call, in a voice call with you. Well, you can do it with one word, but I'm a professional. Oh my gosh. Oh man, but you need to give 120%. So would that be a word and a half then? Or would that be a word and a letter? Or just a period? If that would be just a word and a period, would be 120%, right? Because, ball is 3 letters, can you go more than 3 letters with 120%? You need to go at least 0.33% to even get close enough to add in a 4th letter into that. That he distracted me with 3 letters. I'm trying to see whether or not this. Are you? I can't tell if this is Ace giving you more room. I can't tell if this is Ace giving you more room to work around in for that 120% limit, or if he's just messing with you now. It means putting in extra effort, Nox. Well, you can just say that Ace is just putting in maximum effort. Fit more appropriately. Yeah, now I'm curious about make minor adjustments to my shell so it fit more appropriately. That makes me wonder, is subtle transformations, does that not require the full green fire thing? The green fire of transformation thing that changelings usually do? Is that just for from one form into another, but if you want to alter the current form that you're in, it doesn't require flames at all? That would make a lot of sense. But, yeah. Oh my gosh, it could be used a lot more often. Just to subtly change like eye color or whatnot, and no one would notice. This is an interesting tangent to go down on. And this is me distracting myself. V, get in here. Get your sorry butt in here and explain to us your changeling lore. Carapace, V, either one of you. We wish to know. Like, seriously, V or Carapace, because pretty much it seems like they're working off the same lore, both of them. Well, hi. Oh man, if anyone's seen it. Oh jeez. Oh yeah, like everyone was sick last week. Oh man. You know, the thing is that my sickness wasn't even that bad. It was just mainly a head cold and a sore throat. But I can't but I can't record with a sore throat, or else it'll destroy my voice and I won't be able to record anymore. But yeah. But yeah, like it wasn't that bad. It was just bad enough that I couldn't record while doing it. Hey, look at that. Another server. I am now Cool Dudes. The Dude and Cool Dudes. Also, I should probably put this in. Started streaming for another server that I'm a part of, because I am just so popular. Okay, that was the right link. Okay. Whew, I almost that almost went bad there for a second. What was that click? I heard a click. Did you all hear a click? I heard a click. Oh well. thank you for poking V for me, because this is, it popped in my head and will not stop nagging at me until I find out. Because even though a lot of people love their headcanons, including me, I love my headcanons, when it's a headcanon, when it's a headcanon of a headcanon, that's when it starts getting a little wonky. Although some headcanons are fun. Like, for instance, on the way back to, when I was coming up from my sister's house to come back and record this, or to stream this, I had a thought, is that, like, I wonder if Topaz, like, ever, like, in the early days, ever treated Idol just like a dog. Like, he'd do something, and then, or, like, when he was, like, more, like, when he gets more rebellious or something like that, he'd just do stuff like, Idol, no, drop, Idol, drop it, Idol, drop it, Idol, no, get back here, Idol, you get back here. It's just stuff like that. It's like, I'm like, I could totally see that happening, and it's beautiful. And, oh man, I almost want it to be just like happen in a side story, because it's just too perfect, and it fits so well into the narrative too. Even though Idol would most likely just do whatever Topaz asked him to do, just hilarious thing of, like, Topaz just be like, Idol, no, Idol, drop it, Idol. That's my research. Oh man. But being that he's a bug, he didn't take it well. Oh man. Oh man. Oh no. The return of the ball. I'm not going to have it happen twice. Maybe. Probably not. And it's already happening, so you've won twice now, Ace. Congratulations. And I'm not doing this just to prove a point to Desk either, that it's easy to distract me. But just one word. It shouldn't distract me as much as you're doing right now. And yet you're doing it. You're actually doing it with the word ball with 3 periods and a question mark. What is this? And again, I will let you guys know when I'm drunk on stream. And I am not doing it right now. This is just me on a normal basis streaming, and you're already getting me this badly. Oh my gosh. And I don't know if Desk is being silent because he's thinking up something else to distract me, poking Drake, just listening to this insanity, or salty that it's just that you're distracting me a lot more with one-word answers than he is with full sentences. Lies, shameless lies. I am always that's just Nox is not always drunk. No, you're drunk. You're drunk right now. V0 E0 H Wait. What? Is that a typo? Little off 4. Okay, fair enough. Lies. Shameless lies. I was only drunk on stream one time. It's going to be 2 in a month. Alright, stay tuned for that, though. My yearly mega stream, which is just an hour and a half longer than what I usually stream. My mega stream is when I'm going to be drunk again. Will it happen before then? I don't know. Also, I don't know if you guys heard this, but happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope you all have wonderful turkey days. It's great stuff. Yeah. And hopefully Black Friday was not bad for you at your jobs like it was at mine. Yeah. Let's go with that. And no, I'm not... I'm not drunk. Or even tipsy. I haven't drunken a drop of stuff today. Or weak. Like... Are muffins cake? Ooh. Oh. Are muffins cake? Yes. Muffins are cake. And I will preface this with, when I was a kid, we would make zucchini bread, which is which is a little bit different, but I'm sticking to it. And we'd use the same batter to make muffins that we did to make the zucchini bread. Also, I will also preference with a lot of people, myself included, makes cupcakes and muffins from cake mixes. So yes, it's a cake. Hey, V! Welcome, V! Welcome! Everything's been weird today. You know what I say? A muffin is a bald cupcake. And we know it! The turkey wasn't the only thing that was baked. Oh. Oh, that's a good one. Ace, you sir have won round 3. Oh, that's so good. But thing is that it doesn't necessarily, just because a cake is bad, does not mean it's not a cake. Because just look at fruitcake. If cakes are supposed to be good, well, you have fruit, good, cake, great, fruitcake, nasty crap. Like, does anyone really like fruitcake? I've never had it personally, but does anyone like fruitcake? I just don't like fruit in my cakes. Unless it's like jelly or something like that. It's one of the reasons why I can't have, like, cherry stuff. It's just they have whole cherries in there. And it's like, yeah, just eat a whole cherry. I'm like, if I wanted to eat a whole cherry, I would eat a cherry. I would not try and disguise it with delicious bread. But see, fruitcake, it's in the name. Fruitcake is in the name. So it's a cake, so it doesn't... So if you're saying that... so, like, V's logic of reasoning is that cakes are good, so therefore brand cakes cannot exist. Well, if cakes are supposed to be good, then what the heck is a fruitcake? It's in the name, it's a cake, but it's not good. So, either V is lying, or we're just lying to ourselves what fruitcake actually is. So, I'm going to go with V is wrong, that cakes are supposed to be good. Therefore, fruitcake can exist. Therefore, brand cakes can exist. Therefore, muffins are cakes. and schooled you on that one. Welcome, Kama! It's a long time no see. And cool, Nier Automata. I've heard of that game. Never played it. I'm not a gamer. But I heard it's good. But you admit it's a cake! Therefore, bran cake can exist. Therefore, bran cakes could exist, theoretically. Therefore, muffins are cakes. And with that, I rest my case. Because it does not have to be delicious to be a cake. It just has to be a bready sweet something. And then it just has to be a bready something and it just tastes delicious. Yes. Yes, Desk. If you bake a muffin and put frosting on it, it becomes a cupcake. Because really, like, all the muffins I've seen are chocolate muffins, sesame seed muffins, and poppy seed muffins. And it's just, the last two are just variations on white cake mix with some seeds mixed in. I don't know why we're baking for birds, but there you have it. And then it's just, they put cake mix in it with seeds. So yes, if you put icing on these muffins, then yes, they'll be cupcakes. Even blueberry muffins. Have you never had a blueberry cupcake? It's delicious. Especially when they have like that caramelized sugar on top. It's so good. Angel cake. Never had angel cake. Heard it's delicious. Heard it's so good. I've had bundt cake. I've had bundt cake. I made lemon bars, which isn't technically a cake. What are lemon bars? That's riddle me this. What is a lemon bar? It's not a cake. It's like some sort of... Is it a pie? Are lemon bars pies? Because they just go on liquid and then you bake them for a little bit and then they're there. No, not again. Not again, Ace. No, you're not rule of 3 here. So is lemon bar a pie technically? Like seriously, I am genuinely curious. Is a lemon bar a pie? Either way, it's delicious, and I'm starving right now. It's a dessert bar. But is it a pie, though? Is this just a... Is it a pie? Is it... It can't just run away with being more broader and broader terms. Specifically, is it a pie? Because it has some of the same characteristics of pie. It's just a little bit flatter. And it's in usually a square baking tin. Is lemon bars a pie? I reasoned it out to myself, and it sounds like it's a thing, but I don't know. And you guys are doing a wonderful job tonight. I've only made a minute 15 into my recording, and I've been streaming for almost an hour now. Fantastic work. A lot better than a couple weeks ago. Good on you. See, Ace is picking up the slack when Desk is just... what is VEOA3? What is that? I don't know what that... E0A3 is... Are you meaning B0A3? Is that the thing? Or is this comparing you to Desk? I If it's a scoreboard, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. If it's a meme, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, V, we have an important question for you. It's utmost importance, so when does Changeling Fire, the transformation fire, come to effect? Is it any time they alter their form, or is it just when they're making a shell or dropping their disguise? Because it says here, I would say the worst condiment is Miracle Whip. That stuff be nasty. Anyway. Awesome, it's a scoreboard. But, like, V, if changelings are doing slight alterations to their form, does that mean it's a full fire effect? Or is it just happens? Like changing color schemes or something like that. Or like making slight alterations to a shell to make your armor fit better. Like when V was fitting his own, like when Idol was fitting his own armor. Is that just, do gradual transformations mean no fire, but a complete transformation means all the fire? I'm very curious about that, and so is everyone else here. So I hope you can riddle me this one. Because I am genuinely curious. I am genuinely curious. Energy bursting. Change. Okay, there's fire. Okay. Nice. So, like, I don't know if you like bird popcorn, but if you do, awesome. If you don't, sad days. So, okay, so like Idol changing his teeth is more like, okay, it just happened. But Idol going from Changeling Idol to Idol is bursts of fire. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. All right. I was wondering because some parts of this is like, is he changing his form without alerting everyone else to his thing? And like his battle with him getting away from Zecora was a lot more dramatic in my head, because when he said he shifted the muscles to actually work like that, just imagine that he was like bursting into fire every couple seconds as he manually controlled his own muscles. Just imagine Zecora standing there, and this pony that's not a pony is just catching on fire every few seconds and moving. You think it's like a fire wraith or something like that. Just as he's just walking out of the house. Oh man. But it makes more sense if he could just adjust it without the fiery display. But oh man, it certainly does take some impact from some scenes. He's just not catching on fire doing that. Sad days, Ace. Sad days. I don't eat popcorn too often. Pretty much only when I go to the movies. Last movie I saw? Endgame. I should probably try and see more, but who has time for that? Man, I almost want to just draw a scene where Idol is just like facing off against Zecora, and he's just constantly on fire, and Zecora's just freaking out because here's this thing that is just permanently on fire as it makes its way closer to her, or further away, depending on if you want Idol retreating or Idol just being like, okay, I'm sick of this poison. Just like, no. just Idle having to manually control his muscles, which he does say hurts, but just him being on fire that entire time because he's just shifting to control his muscles like that. It's a fun thought. It's a pro gamer move. Hey, welcome back, Kama. We're discussing parts of it probably pulsing green. Okay. Alright, that's fair. But at the same time, I like it. I almost prefer it to him just being on fire as he's as he's leaving Zikora's cottage. He just lights up into flame. Zikora freaks out because this being just lit on fire is not going out. And then he's just walking away. Like this is just normal. Set yourself on fire to assert dominance. We're discussing whether or not, like, the full changeling body fire thing is for any transformation or just major transformations. And he has confirmed that it's just only for, like, more changeling magic he uses, the more fire there is, basically. Or, like, the more, like, he's going to be on fire. Like, full body transformations, lots of changeling magic, a lot of fire. Small stuff, like him changing his teeth so he could fool a dentist, no fire. Maybe glowing green. Maybe his mouth glowing green for a bit. When he tore his face for Flim and Flam, the damaged flesh was probably very clearly green and not red, which probably didn't look right at all. Oh my gosh! That makes it so much better now. It makes me want to get to the... Oh, that's so good. It's so good. Self-arsenal. Just, yeah. Oh, self-defense to... Although, I always view Changeling Fire is like... It's only for full transformations. It's like... It's burning away the old form so that the new one could take its place. Kind of like how some... Like, pine trees, for example... Their seeds are only released in the heat of a forest fire. That's kind of what I was thinking Changeling Fire is that you can't have a new body without the old one being burned away. Idle the Hulk. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's true. If he just made himself be bigger, just completely green. Oh man. I mean, no one's going to go near something on fire, but at the same time, it's a very flashy for a race that's supposed to be based only on stealth. Like, yeah, I'll keep people away from you and maybe give you time to run away, but at the same time, it just seems too flashy a move to just be like, for this race as just like intent on keeping itself secret at all costs. You know? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is just like his old body is consumed by the fire to basically lay down the building blocks of the next one. It just happens so fast and so automatic that it makes it seem like it's happening congruently, even though in my mind it's more like he is literally burning away his own body and he's just inhabiting a new one every single time. Although some people, yeah, it's a cool thing to think about. It's a really cool concept to think about, and I like a lot of people's take on it. Like I've seen people's take on changelings, where they don't actually have muscles underneath. It's they have just an exoskeleton, and they're just filled with like some magical green goo. Internally, So that way, and that's how they can change form, is because that green goo basically shapes to its container, whereas the changeling form just burns away in the fire. The great and powerful idol. Let's all drink the Kool-Aid and accept it for what it is. Does he still have the same amount of mass, or does it increase and decrease? I've seen both in different stories. I've seen some where it's like they can't change the size of their container, so whatever they turn into is around the same size as what they were. And it's been both confirmed and denied with the show, because Ocellus does turn into a rock roughly the same shape as she is when she's startled, but at the same time, she also turned into Queen Chrysalis. So there's that. I don't know. It's up in the air, and it's just basically, oh, we'll do whatever the story calls for, right? If a changeling adds mass, they pay for it with magic. Same with hiding mass. Gotcha. Oh, so it's like, so it's literally energy to mass conversion. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, oh man, that's very cool. Yeah. I've never thought about it that way, and I like how that would be structured, is that it's just literally science. It's just they're converting energy into mass or dispelling energy, which takes more energy to dispel safely and not let off like a nuke whenever they shrink down in size. Like I always thought it's just like they become more or less dense kind of deal. Like if Idol turned into Alicorn Idol again, he weighs significantly less than the size of pony that he should be. And like maybe it's like a mass training thing too, because like he's already really not dense. And I don't know if that plays into his changeling half, because like it like he can climb up walls, so that way he has to be, or no, he's hyper dense. Yeah, Idol is hyper dense. So that just makes it seem like he has the ability to expand and not be to like a bigger form without expending so much energy because of how dense he is. But he's really dense but light. It doesn't make any sense either way, because he's so dense he sinks in water, but he's so light that one of his trainers says that he must be as light as a wet rag. He's not any heavier than a wet rag. Another dimension is another thing I've seen. The one I liked best was like the green goo on the inside, is that they don't have any muscle. It's just a shapeless mass of green goo, and the actual changeling container is, yes, their default form, but something to just hold it all together in one shape. And when they change into another shape, changeling containers burned away, and they just take the shape of their new container. They're all basically the smooths, is what I've read. And some people say that that's the reason why they can't take massages well, because they don't have any muscles to massage. But yeah, how does Idle being hyper dense yet light as a feather work? Please let me know, because it doesn't make sense from a sciencey aspect of it, and I do and don't like looking at things from the sciencey perspective at the same time. Because how can it be hyper dense? He's denser than the water around. He's denser than water, yet light as a feather. Doesn't make any sense. But let me know. I suppose I could have simply waited for his replacement to arrive in the next hour or so, or for him to return from his dinner, but that'd be horribly impolite to Topaz. We did, after all, tend to eat the last meal of the day together, if I returned from training early enough. She took great enjoyment in the comparisons of life in the hive to life as a trainee of the Royal Guard, and I found that I also found pleasure in the retailing of the events. Of course, that required me to arrive relatively soon. The armorer could work on bolts and wispy gear. Shining and I would likely not turn ours in. Shining and I would likely not turn ours in until the following morning. He's porous. How can a Pegasi walk on clouds and yet swim? Because they have a cloud walking spell in their hooves. This is easy, V. They're using their magic. They're using their innate magic to walk on clouds. but it's only when they're in contact with clouds. Such as the Foal of the Forest. They change. So if people are trained enough and to use their magic, they could literally walk on air. Also, yes, you distracted me for a half hour. Congratulations. Woo! It's because people finally joined. Hello and thank you for joining, all 6 of you that have decided to join me on this marvelous adventure. He lives in a world of magic and let it be that. But no! Magic science we don't understand yet. So it must be explainable. Not just magic. Not just to magic. Because he should... So does that mean changelings are not a smooth shell? They're just basically igneous rocks? They'll just... they're mostly air, so they sink? I'm missing near automata for this? Yes. Well, what do you expect? I haven't changed my formula in a year. That brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell anyone what had happened in the Everfree. I considered this as other ponies heading home for the day strolled by, one with a rather irritated grunt at the new guard post, which I realized was most likely meant as an insult to keep me mobile. It was fair enough. No, Ace. No. Bad, Ace. Bad. And desk. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Desk gets what I'm talking about. I would like there to be a reason. Like, thing is, the number one thing to creating a magic system is that it has rules. You know who said that? Brandon Sanderson. So we know he knows what he's talking about because he creates the most complex. As far as I know, he creates like some of the most intriguing magic systems out there. So I'm wondering how your magic system stacks up, Drake. Yeah, though I'm genuinely curious. Like, how do all these aspects work, or have you just, or it's just like haven't thought about that? Magic is as magic does kind of deal. Because I mean, the show hasn't even explained how magic works all that well. So anyone that does explain magic is, at best, headcanon. Is at best a headcanon. Or is that at worst a headcanon? Or no, at best a headcanon, at worst just filling in plot holes for their own convenience. No ace, no ball. Oh, he bases off a Lord of the Rings magic system. I don't know the Lord of the Rings magic system, so cool. We need something, boom, magic. So does that mean if Idol needs to fly somewhere, if he whispers to a moth, the eagles will be coming? Bring the eagles. I need to get out of Canterlot. Just like this giant eagle comes in on Canterlot, picks up Idol, and then flies away. An insult to keep me mobile. It was fair enough, though the concept intrigued me. Was the post in guard post meant to signify the order, the position, or simply that the guards in some... It was fair enough, though the concept intrigued me. Was the post in guard post meant to signify the order, the position, or simply that the guards themselves would be an immovable object in the way of an invading force? I rather like that last idea. I was still considering what information I could relate to Topaz when I approached the door to her house. Not telling her was still an option. The means of dealing with the Timberwolf... Magic can make and break a world. You go, exactly. Funny thing is, there's two stories that I really enjoy the magic system of: Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Candy Shop War. Funny enough. but I really enjoy how the magic system is structured in both of those stories. In Avatar, it's very self-explained, that it's a learned skill. It's a learned skill that only a few people have access to. I'm only paying attention to the original Last Airbender, and I haven't watched Legend of Korra, so don't talk about Legend of... like, you can spoil things for Legend of Korra because I watched all the spoilery stuff, but for me, the series ended with Last Airbender, which I think a lot of other people enjoy. But yeah, it's really structured really well, and I really enjoy that. Candy Shop War. You don't hear too much about the magic that they use, but it is stated quite often that people that want to learn magic, by the time they know enough to use it, can't use it. And that, because the potency of magic wears off as you get older, which is an intriguing concept. That, it's an intriguing concept that you can spend your whole life studying something, yet still not be able to use it for yourself, simply because you've spent a long time learning the skill. It's an intriguing way, and makes me wonder why people would become wizards in the first place, other than, like, long life and whatnot. But at the same time, It's like, you get to live a long time. You're limited in transport and whatnot, but but it's magic still, and it can do insane, crazy things. So like, if you were magic enough, like your descendants could have access to powerful magic items without you, with your intervention, and that's just a cool concept. I don't know enough about D&D magic to make a call on it. So, yeah. What? Desk, what did you show? Oh, that's a good screenshot right there. That is the best screenshot. But yeah, I do like both of those magic systems simply because they're reasonably structured, and especially with Candy Shop War, it relays a deeper lore to it all. And even when the second Candy Shop War book came out, I don't even know if there's a third one yet, but when the second one came out, I was like, oh, there's even more? There's more ways to reveal magic, not just in candy, but also like temporary stamps and whatnot. It's a very intriguing concept. That is cool fan art right there. Um, but yeah, it just makes me want to like explore the world more, want to learn more about it. Don't know if he published a third book. Maybe he did, and I didn't see it. But if he did, I'm definitely going to read it because it's such a good story. Makes me want to pick up my own copy. I have my own copy of Candy Shop War, which is signed by him. Actually, I want to read that again. That was such a good story. It's such a good story. If any of you have not read Candy Shop War, read it. It's fantastic. You won't regret it. So good. I rather like that last idea. I rather liked that last night. I need to redo that whole paragraph. Irritated, irritated grunt at the new until the following morning. Oh, Ace, it's the Discord that's linked. That should be linked in the description. It's the Changeling of the Guard Discord, uh, where you can see all the shenanigans that happen around this. Oh, wait, hold on. It's not linked in. That's weird. And oh my gosh. I hate that it keeps on messing with my stuff. Alright, hold on. Uh. Alright. And. There we go. So it should be in the description now, if you want to join in. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. It's usually really inactive unless I'm doing a stream or V eventually releases the next chapter. Sometimes things happen in there. But, yeah. Oh, gosh. Ah, there we go. I lost where I was for a second there. It's not here? What? I did the thing. I did it. No. Ah, there we go. I lost where I was. Nope. No, you're not listening to me twice. I don't want to listen to me. Do I not have a description? Hey, people are watching me. Awesome. Try refreshing it. That should help out with it. Why isn't... Where's my description box? Does it... do I not have a description? Because I'm live? What? There we go. There's the link to it. If you want to join in. But yeah. Those are my favorite magic systems. Now I can... Now that crisis has been averted, I can do stuff again. Alright. And... boop! If you want to see where all the things is in the Discord related to this live stream, it's in the live stream related chat. Don't forget to ask the bot to let you know whenever I go live. Or whenever anyone goes live if they type in a special command. Yeah. But, yes. Funny thing is, I never see Desk use that. I never see Desk use the bot. It's only me. Desk is just like, you know, I'm not going to use the bot that announces to people that, hey, people are streaming. I'll just go on and see if people see it. Because I want to see Desk stream, except either I'm at work or I just don't see it until way after the fact. So I'm watching it third hand after the fact, which I'm sad about. I could probably fix it by ringing the bell icon, but I don't want to. That brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell anyone what had happened in... That brought me to a pause. I had not promised to... That brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell anyone what had happened in the Everfree. I considered this as other ponies headed home for the day. That brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell anyone that... V. That had brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell any pony what had happened in the Everfree. I considered this as other ponies headed home for the day strolled by, one with a What does what do? What does what? What? Gamma, explain. Explain your question, because... Anyone? Not any pony. Ding. Oh, man. We'll let the chat decide whether that or not that's an accurate typo count. That had brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell anyone. That brought me to a pause. I had promised not to tell any pony what had happened in the Everfree. I considered this as other ponies heading home for the day strolled by, one with a rather irritated grunt at the new guard post, which I realized was most likely meant as an insult to keep me mobile. It was fair enough, though. The concept intrigued me. Was the post and guard post meant to signify the order, the position, or simply that the guards themselves would be an immovable object in the way of an invading force? I rather liked that last idea. V. The screams of V brings me joy. Yes, I can hear them. I was still considering what information I could relate to Topaz when I approached the door to her house. Not telling her was still an option. The means of dealing with the I was still considering what information I could relate to Topaz when I approached the door to her house. Not telling her was still an option. The means of dealing with the Timberwolf had not even been relayed to Princess Cadence, and that was another issue. She had given me orders to call her Katie, and Shining had asked me to keep his relationship quiet. That was simple enough, I realized. I would refer to her as Katie to everyone else. I would refer to her as Katie to every pony else. This would fulfill the order of calling her by the horribly inappropriate name while not insulting her to her face. And I would tell Topaz much the same as Shining had told Princess Cadence, Katie. I rapped politely at the door and was startled to find that Topaz had changed her mane style and her coat color, and she looked a bit heavier than. Oh man, I forgot this description. Oh man, I love it. I love it so much. Idle's nonchalant descriptions is amazing. Although that means I now have to find a voice for Topaz's mother. Oh no! I rapped politely at the door and was startled to find that Topaz had changed her mane style and her coat color, and she looked a bit heavier than usual. And I was reasonably sure she hadn't been wearing her glasses, which, while not unheard of, wasn't common either, though she was squinting at me, and then the door slammed shut. In retrospect, it seemed obvious that it was not Topaz at all. The facial structure was very similar, so it was not a completely foolish mistake. Still, I trotted out to the mailbox, verifying that it was indeed Topaz's home. How very odd. There was some clamor from inside, and I could not withstand my curiosity, so I neared the door again. Oh, man. Okay. Topaz's mother. Oh, man. So, Topaz is up here. Topaz is up here. Swift is over here. So make it a little in between? Accent? Should I give her an accent? Should I give her a slightly British accent? You know those Canterlot folk can never stray away from a British accent, you know? Oh man, that's going to go down wonderfully. Grand Falls. Oh jeez. Should I just give her Topaz's voice? I need to import some of that V-Drake talent. What? 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 I can't tell what that's in referring to, comma. I do not know. Whoa, no, I already do older tree hugger for Shining. Some Sonic Bliss. Heavy Boston. If you're asking for a heavy Boston accent, you are going to be very, very concerned. Because it's just bash and it's just bash. Your stash. There's a guard pony at. Oh no. Oh man. If I just go like this, if I talk fast enough, it will just be over quicker, won't it? Your stash. There's a guard pony at the door. Honestly, Topaz, now is not the time to be coy. Oh no, I'm giving it another. It's going into Southern again. Oh man. Oh, get V-Drake to voice her? Now that would be interesting. Although the hidden point to making this wonderful audio production is to be able to voice every character. No matter is to voice everyone. So that way when I do this professionally, if I do this professionally, I can do it without them having to hire anybody else. Southern. Oh man. Oh man. Just oh gosh. Do it. Oh no. I can't do slightly Southern, slightly Australian. It'll just turn into another bold incident. And I can't have another bold incident on my hat. Oh, man. Honestly, Topaz, this is not the time to be coy. Oh, my gosh, it's going to turn into this voice again, isn't it? It's going to turn into this voice, isn't it? Isn't this bold? Isn't this the bold voice that I chose out long ago? Or is bold something different? Is this... Let me know. Is this bold's voice, or is this the voice that I'm going to be using for Topaz's mom? Because the South will rise again. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm not going to do Honey's voice for this, obviously. But, obviously, Topaz. I guess I could... Not the time to play coy, grandfathers and all that. Oh gosh, golly! I think I found her voice. I think this is the voice I'm going to go for. I hope it's not to anyone else. If it is, well, she's not in the story that long, anyways. So I can just do whatever I want, can I? Oh man, this will not go well when she's yelling at Topaz for the first line, isn't it? Oh, jeez. And it'll probably turn into honey at any point in time. It's lingering on the honey edge. It's lingering on a honey's edge to dipping into that range. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh, golly, I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? Too late. It seems like I've already stuck with it. Slightly Irish. It's starting to sound slightly Irish, slightly Southern. Oh no. Oh no. This is going to be fun. Your stash. There's a guard pony at the door. Honestly, Topaz, now's not the time to play coy. Stash? Mom, what the hey are you talking about? I don't have a... There is a loud sound of disbelief. There was a loud sound of disbelief. College has changed over the years. Oh, whatever. Wait, guard? Oh, Harmy, that's probably just idle. Idle? There was a strikingly idle. I just deep idle. Just deep bass drop whenever Idle's name is mentioned. Honestly, Topaz. Idle? Idle? There was a strikingly ominous silence. You never mentioned any idol. No, I did. I told you I'd taken on a boarder. You know, a friend who needed someplace to stay. Idle lives is... No, I did. I told you I'd taken on a boarder. You know, a friend who needed someplace to stay. Idle Hooves is that friend. There was some bit of dialogue I missed, unfortunately, as it had been much more quiet. There was some bit of dialogue I missed, unfortunately, as it had been much more quiet. There was some bit of dialogue I missed, unfortunately, as it had been much more quiet. Mother, don't you dare! Mother, don't you dare! The door flew open. Tuesday. I don't know why that's still funny after all this time. What do you think of the voice I have christened Topaz's mother with? Verdian Verga. How do you think of Verdian Verga's voice? It's very interesting, isn't it? Let's hope I can keep to it, or else the accent counter will overtake the typo counter, and we mustn't have that, can we? Hello, Mr. Hooves. My daughter has told me, well, practically nothing about you, but come in. Topaz and I were just ready to sit down for dinner. No, Ace. Bad, Ace. Bad. About you, but come in. Hello, Mr. Hooves. My daughter has told... Hello, Mr. Hooves. My daughter has told me, well, practically nothing about you, but come in. Topaz and I were just about ready to sit down for dinner. I blinked. Then, because it was polite, and I did live here, I wiped my hooves on the I blinked. Then, because I was polite, and I did live here, I wiped my hooves on the Hey, no, it's accent mistakes, not me stumbling over my own tongue. and I did proclaim in the last stream that if it's not recording, it doesn't count. So me talking like this and switching accents on a dime, that does not count because I'm not being recorded for the chapter. It doesn't count. It doesn't count, Desk. No, you're not ganging up on me for this. I blinked. Then, because I was polite, and I did live here, I wiped my hooves on the welcome mat before entering the dragon's den. Verdian I almost said Viagra. That's completely different. Verdian Verga. Okay, I will admit that one was a change in a different direction. I run out of water. Oh no, I have a little bit of sweet agua. Sweet agua. Are you just adding to the counter, to your own counter chain every time I mention ball? Because I do look over at the chat every single time that someone posts something, because I want to see what's happening. Verdian Verga. Verga? Is it Verga? How do you pronounce this one?
Verga.
Verga. Verdian Verga. Vertigan, 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 Vertiga. Vertigan, Vertiga. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hooves. Oh my gosh, just a thick Scottish accent. Not recording, so it doesn't count. Verdian Verga, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hooves. You have to forgive me. When Topaz mentioned she had a roommate again, I was assuming it was a mare. That's the mayor. It was the mayor, not a mayor. It was the mayor. This is going to be... Hello, Mr. Hooves. All right. Verdian Verga, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hooves. You'll have to forgive me. When Topaz mentioned he had a roommate again, Viridian. Viridian? Oh, there we go. There's a second eye. Viridian Verga, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hooves. You'll have to forgive me. When Topaz mentioned he had a roommate again, I was assuming it was a mare. There is nothing to forgive. There is nothing to forgive. I managed. This mare's emotions were delighted, and I could barely read anything beyond that. I managed. This mare's emotions were delighted, and I could barely read anything beyond that. I had heard amongst the others that many a pony liked a stallion in uniform, and I still wore mine. I had found the idea interesting at the time, and reasoned that it was because of the duty of the guard, was to protect Equestria and to ensure the rule of law was followed. I decided this mare was likely a firm believer in such an orderly existence, and my opinion of her raised even higher than her status as Topaz's mother had already placed it. Oh gosh, that's a long one. It's a long... I know what verdant means. My opinion of her... And my opinion of her raised even higher than her status as Topaz's mother had already placed it. Also, there's another typo right here. You cannot slip these typos away from me, V. I want to... It's now my challenge to have more typo counters at the end of these streams than accent counters, and I will be successful as I can. I will not cheat, but I will try my hardest to find every last one. It is also a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Verga. It is also a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Verga. Please, call me Vivi. Yeah, everyone's acquainted now, Topaz muttered, staring at me. It occurred to me only moments later that my armor was a mess, and I felt a moment of shame. A moment of shame. Yeah, everyone's acquainted now. Topaz being salty. Oh man, that's even better. Topaz muttered, staring at me. It occurred to me only moments later that my armor was a mess, and I felt a moment of shame. I had heard a number of the other ponies talk about getting niced up to meet the parents of a mare or stallion, and here I was in tarnished, dented armor. What in Tartarus happened to you? You look like you were playing hoofball with a team of buffalo. I hesitated. Oh, there we go. There were no buffaloes involved, or hoofballs. I did not think so, at least. I still wasn't sure what a hoofball was. We were sent on a training exercise to the... There were no buffalo involved, or hoofballs. I did not think so, at least. I still wasn't sure what a hoofball was. Also, another typo. Wasn't. There is a wasn't in here. I did not think so, at least. I still was not sure what a hoofball was. We were sent on a training exercise to the Everfree Forest. There was a moment of silence. When it stretched long, I cleared my throat and began again. There was an incident with a timber wolf. Wait, a timber wolf? Oh gosh, that went high. Oh gosh, that went really high. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. Wait, a timber wolf? Topaz managed, aghast. Yes. As in, one of those monsters made of sticks? Her mother gave me an appraising look. What happened? We disagreed with its idea of where it belonged in the food chain. It was very empathetic. We disagreed. Oh, we disagreed on its presence. We disagreed on its idea where it belonged in the food chain. Oh, that's such a good line. So good. Celestia, Topaz breathed. Was anyone Celestia, Topaz breathed. Was anyone hurt? Not in my presence, I admitted. Wispy and Bold had seemed fine. It had been excessively rude of me not to ask, though, then again, Dink had been dragged to safety by his own Timberwolf. I was not sure if that counted. Emphatic. There. Oh, well, here we go. Word of the day, Drake again. Was anyone hurt? Oh no, I just... Yes? I almost erased that entire take. It was very empathetic. We disagreed with its idea of where it belonged in the food chain. It is very empathetic. Emphatic. Why do you throw these words at me, Drake? Why? We disagreed with its idea of where it belonged in the food chain. We disagreed with its idea of where it belonged in the food chain. It is very emphatic. I can't read emphatic. Oh gosh. No. We disagree. No. No. We disagreed with its idea of where it belonged in the food chain. It is very emphatic. We disagreed with its idea of where it belonged in the food chain. It was very emphatic. Celestia, Topaz breathed. Was anyone hurt? Not in my presence, I admitted. Not in my presence. Not in my presence, I admitted. Wispy and Bold had seemed fine. It had been excessively rude of me not to ask. Though, then again, Dink had been dragged to safety by his own Timberwolf. I was not sure if that counted. Well, it sounds like this is quite a story. I'll make us some tea, and you can tell us all about it. Do you prefer sugar or honey, Mr. Hooves? I can't tell if that was more Viridian. I can't tell if that was more Viridian or honey. Was that Viridian or honey? Well, Mr. Hooves. Well, it sounds like this is quite a story. Oh gosh, she is just tipping all the way towards. She is tipping all the way towards honey. Oh my gosh. Yes, I will put another typo in. Me and Drake are tied 3-3. Yeah. All right. Well, hi there, Mr. Hooves. Well, I assumed when she was talking about, I assumed it was a mare. There we go. There's her voice. Well, that sounds like it's quite... Well, it sounds like this is quite the story. I'll make us some tea and you can tell us about it. Do you prefer sugar or honey, Mr. Hooves? Viridian questioned. When I indicated the latter, she smiled. Good. Honey is better for you. That is definitely honey right there. Oh no. Good. It's getting worse. I don't know. It's getting worse. Okay. How did I voice Viridian? I need to go back and listen to my own takes on Viridian. Sure, what a hoofball was. Yeah, everyone's acquainted now. I managed. Viridian Verga, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hooves. You have to forgive me. When Topaz mentioned he had a roommate again, I was assuming it was a mare. There is nothing to forgive. I managed. This mare's emotions were delighted, and my opinion of her raised even higher than her It is also a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Verga. Please, call me Vivi. Vivi. There we go. Well, it sounds like this is quite the story. Oh no, it's going towards Southern again. I don't know if it was Southern before then, but it was something. It was some sort of voice. Well. But come in. There we go. There's her voice. Quickly, before I lose it again. Well, it sounds like this is quite the story. I'll make us some tea, and you can tell us about it. Do you prefer sugar or honey, Mr. Hooves? Viridian questioned. When I indicated the latter, she smiled. Good, honey is better for you. I'll let you and Mr. Hooves have a minute, dear. She trotted into the kitchen, beaming. It was a good expression on her. She trotted into the kitchen, beaming. It was a good expression on her. Topaz's eyes were closed, and she breathed a few times, heavily. I'm sorry about her. Don't worry about it. I nodded, not understanding, but accepting anyways. I recalled a bit of advice. I nodded, not understanding, but accepting anyways. I recalled a bit of advice that one should compliment a mare's parents to the mare. Some sort of ritual of good luck amongst ponies. Shining had supported the idea, and that was enough for me. As I said, the South will rise again. And yes, I do see the ball. And yes, you can count that on your scoreboard thingy. Is this going to be a thing now? Am I going to have different scoreboards for all the little things? She seems very nice and fine to look at. Yeah, well, she means well enough. She's just... She coughed suddenly, staring at me with her mouth half. Yeah, well, she means well enough. She's just... She coughed. Yeah, well, she means well enough. She's just... She coughed suddenly, staring at me with her mouth half open. Perhaps the compliment was insufficient. She coughed suddenly, staring at me with her mouth half open. Perhaps the compliment was insufficient. What? I panicked a bit. She has a symmetrical frame and a visually appealing facial structure. What? Well, yes, you share it as well. You have good cheekbones. Good cheekbones. Well, yes, you share it as well. You have good cheekbones. My... I can't stop it. She raised a hoof to her face, staring at me. I wondered if I should lower my emotional defenses a bit. Perhaps I was misreading the mare. Her face was sudden. Her face. Her face was starting to redden, as it usually did when she was upset. Topaz, where are your teas? What is this junk? Hibiscus? I raised you better than that, and you know it. At that, Topaz bolted off. I would have to... At that, Topaz bolted off. I would have to apologize for that later, I knew. Also, more blood for the blood gods. Hibiscus? Topaz, where are your teas? What is this junk? Hibiscus? I raised you better than that, and you know it. And you know it. She's just going to turn into she's just going to get really sassy at some point. If she's not already, that is. At that, Topaz bolted off. I would have to apologize later, I knew. I had no idea how to give proper compliment. I would have to ask one of the others for more advice, I suppose. I suppose I should have known. Wayne had often complimented Topaz to my knowledge, and it only seemed to make her angrier with him. Perhaps he, too, shared my failings. Suppose I should have known. Wayne had often complimented. I would have to ask one of the others for more advice, I suppose. For someone who loves this chapter, you're being really mean. I do love this chapter, such as it pains me to do this. But he'll only improve if his mistakes are pointed out. More bloods for the blood god. Because there was 2 in there. Did I count the second one? No, I didn't. There we go. 6-4. The rest of dinner was pleasant, though Topaz showed much more interest in my discovery of the parasprites living in the Everfree Forest, and the rest of the dinner was pleasant, though Topaz showed much more interest in my discovery of the parasprites living in Everfree Forest. I swear, that should be a typo. In the Everfree Forest. It's just not a thing. In Everfree Forest. Ooh. How do you see Verdun? Fallen Kingdom? Okay, I'll watch that after stream. The rest of dinner was pleasant, though Topaz showed much more interest in my discovery of the parasprites living in the Everfree Forest, and I was glad that she had apparently decided my poor excuses for compliments had not been too insulting. She suggested the fuzzy insect orbs were likely a prime food source for smaller predators, and were likely instrumental in the existence of the much larger ones. Topaz's mother was kept Topaz's mother kept peppering the conversation with questions I did not quite understand the relevance of. Topaz's mother was kept peppering the conversation with questions I did not quite understand. Was kept? This is why I read through these so thoroughly. So when did you first meet? On the border of Saddle Arabia, Topaz interjected. Now, how did you see the other insects that could be in the same Guinness? On the border of Saddle Arabia, Topaz interjected. Now, how did you see the other... On the border of Saddle Arabia, Topaz interjected. On the border of Saddle Arabia, Topaz interjected. Now, did you see any other insects that could be in the same genus? Ah, Saddle Arabia, lovely country, I'm told. Good-looking stallions, eh, Topaz? This is her voice now. It's just, eh, Topaz? It's just a slightly higher version of Topaz's voice, which I guess is fitting for her. Ah, Saddle Arabia, lovely country, I'm told. Ah, Saddle Arabia, lovely country, I'm told. Good-looking stallions, eh, Topaz? Mother! Mother! I nodded, supposing that was true. I was no great judge of appearances, to be fair, but that seemed a reasonable assessment. There are plenty of good-looking ponies here, too. Ah, love it. I love it so much. Topaz put her head in her hooves. Topaz put her head in her hooves. Oh, Celestia. Darn, another failed compliment. Topaz put her head in her hooves. Oh, Celestia. Darn, another failed compliment. Oh my gosh. Hmm.
You know, one day.
Thing is that I can't do a British accent that sounds as good as that. That's the problem there, is that I can do a British accent. I just can't do one that would make it that doesn't immediately slip into some sort of southern accent. So I'm just going to be doing Topaz in a slightly higher Topaz voice. It does help, and to be honest, that's how I see Viridian too, a little bit. But at the same time, I can't. I can't do. I can't do that good of a British accent without it immediately tanking into into a Southern accent. So sorry, you're just going to have to deal with my cringy accent, my other cringy accents. What do you think of? What do you think about children, Mr. Hooves? What do you think about children, Mr. Hooves? What do you think about children, Mr. Hooves? Topaz's head jerked from her hooves to stare at her mother. I am rather fond of them. They are a blessing. I am rather fond of them. I am rather fond of them. They are a blessing. Her mother nodded, giving Topaz a pleased look. Maybe I was getting the hang of this, though I could not imagine any pony not liking foals. At the conclusion of our meal, Miss Verga claimed it was about time. At the conclusion of our meal, Miss Verga claimed it was about time she took to the sky. She admonished a strangely resigned. At the conclusion of our meal, Miss Verga claimed it was about time she took to the skies. She admonished a strangely resigned Topaz to come visit her poor parents more often, and I told her to feel free to... She admonished a strangely resigned Topaz to come visit her poor parents more often, and told her to feel free to bring me along. Topaz, with a sigh and a promise to do just that, hugged her mother in farewell and saw her to the door. Oddly, the older mare stopped right around the mailbox, sitting up and making an odd waving motion with both of her forehooves. Grand foals! Topaz rolled her eyes, waved a final time, and slammed the door. What was that? She caught her eyes at me, and I felt myself retreat a step. Oh no, that wasn't Topaz. What was that? What was that? She caught her eyes at me, and I felt myself retreat a step. The old witch was trying to curse me. The hay was that? Fine to look at? This is why I love voicing Topaz so much. It's easy for me to do, and her outbursts are just the best. I blinked. The other guards had much advice for things to do when meeting a mare's parents. Shining suggested I compliment her. I had to think for a moment. I believe casting curses is unlawful. She should not do that. Is it the casting of a curse, the laying of it, or the attempting of the part that is... I believe casting curses is unlawful. She should not do that. I believe casting curses is unlawful. She should not do that. I believe casting curses is unlawful. She should not do that. Is it the casting of a curse, the laying of it, or the attempt the part that is unlawful, or do all three portions warrant punishment? She closed her eyes and began counting something. Alright, I may have to kill Shining. Do you have any idea what you've done? Alright, I may have to kill Shining. Do you have any idea what you've done? Alright, I may have to kill Alright, I may have to kill Shining. Do you have any idea what you've done? It startled me that she would consider murdering one of my few other friends. That seemed a higher crime. I made a good first impression? Topaz gave a snort of laughter, then proceeded to scoop a pillow off the couch and swat at me. Idle, you can't just tell a mare that her mother is hot! I tilted my head. But I made no mention of your mother's temperature. Was she feeling ill? Topaz's only response was to fling an entire couch cushion at me. Oh, man. So I'm going to leave it there for right now. I'll finish up. This is a long... Okay, the chapter is not too much longer. But we have reached the end of the line for Desk. You may now exit the crazy train. I know you've been wanting to for a while now. As for everyone else, I shall see you next week, and expect a new chapter on Wednesday. If I do not post a chapter, keep pestering me until I do so, or let me know how very disappointed in me you all are. So, without further ado, I shall bid you all curses. I shall bid you all good night. Oh, and the final count for tonight's typo off, it is V Drake 7, me 4. Yay. It was a close one. Yes, it's Apple Time, Desk. I'll get with you after the stream turns off. All right. Anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I shall see you next